Thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Today, let's take a look at some real crimes solved by the internet, to real-life murder cases, disappearances, and more. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the lottery winner murder. In 2009, Abraham Shakespeare, a Florida man and winner of a $32 million lottery, was found murdered. The police had no leads on this case or any suspects, so individuals created a forum for this case. Their web sleuths were able to post theories as what they thought happened to him. Obviously, the main motive for killing was thought to be his lottery winnings. So they thought, who would want to kill Abraham for the money? The sleuths ended up creating a theory that a woman named Doris Moore, referred to as Dee Dee, was the murderer. Now, Dee Dee was his financial advisor, and cops could not prove that she was guilty until she started commenting on the forum. So Dee Dee saw the theories pointing fingers at her and decided to refute those accusations. She then would post comments as herself to defend herself. Wrong move, Dee Dee. At first, she created an account anonymously. There, she would refute those accusations. Then she would post comments as herself to further defend herself. Web sleuths noticed that both the accounts had matching IP addresses. It was suspicious that from one account she was like, oh, what about this theory? I think it was this person. And then her other account, she was defending herself. So it was really suspicious. Like, girl, why are you going to all these lengths to try and clear your name and blame someone else? Suspicious. In the end, police were able to use this against her and arrest her. And she was found guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. So, in at number 9, we have the hacker. Brad Williams was often referred to as a social outcast. He would spend unhealthy amounts of hours on his computer. He never had a social life and he didn't even go to his own prom. Well, it turns out that Brad was actually a very, very important internet sleuth and he had his own business. So Brad created a Trojan virus that allowed him to take control of any computer that downloaded it. He ended up infiltrating 3,000 computers. He then would go through these individuals' emails and documents to try and find online creepers, like pedos. He spent 3 years tracking down these people, even ignoring threats from the police to tell him to stop. Brad ended up exposing a number of child predators across Canada, US, and Russia. So thank you, Brad, for putting your skills to good use. Now, speaking of hacking and internet creepers and all that kind of stuff, let me talk to you about today's sponsor, Aura. If you want to stay safe and protect your information online, then you need to check out Aura. Aura helps protect your online data and personal information. Like, did you know that data brokers literally make a living from selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others that want to learn more about you and use that against you? It's really easy to set up and you don't have to download a bunch of different apps. You have everything in one place at one affordable price, like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. They'll show you what information of yours has been leaked, and then they'll help you resolve this leak. And what's amazing is that they'll continuously monitor your data and will notify you if it detects that your personal information has been compromised. Plus, their apps can encrypt your Wi-Fi connection and protect your phone and computer from malware. So if you're interested or you want to learn more, then check the link in my description. Go to aura.com/Lindsayivan to get a 14-day free trial to see if your personal information has been leaked online. I highly suggest that you do this because you'd be surprised what's online. Thank you again, Aura, for sponsoring today's video. Again, check my bio for more information and use my link. In at number 8, we have the drunk driver. In 1968, on Halloween night, 4-year-old Carolee Ashby was out with her cousin when she was hit and killed by a drunk driver. The driver failed to stop when the two were crossing the intersection. Now, this case was cold for 45 years. That was until police decided to share the details of the case on Facebook. That's when some Facebook user came forward with more information. This woman lived in the area in 1968, but she now lives in Florida. Basically, she was approached by a family called the Parkhurst family, And they basically told her to go along with the fact that Douglas and his brother were with her on Halloween night. And she never knew why they asked her to do this, but she agreed. With this information, police re-interrogated Douglas Parkhurst, and he admitted to killing Carolee that night. Sadly, no charges could be filed against him since the statute of limitations on the case had expired. Which is so frustrating, but at least they solved the case. And at number 7, we have Luca Magnotta. Now, if you've seen the Netflix documentary Don't Fuck with Cats, then you know exactly who this guy is, and it's disgusting. I'm sorry. Basically, in May of 2012, John Lynn, a university student, was fatally stabbed and dismembered in Montreal by Luca Magnotta. Luca then mailed Lynn's hands and feet to elementary schools and political party offices. So the two had met on Craigslist after Lynn responded to an ad proposing sex and bondage. Luca started by posting disturbing videos online, like one titled "One Man versus Two Kittens," and in the video you can see him sadly suffocating the kittens to death. But Luca wanted more. On May 25th of 2012, an 11-minute video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick" was uploaded to a website. The video featured a naked guy tied to a bed frame being repeatedly stabbed with an ice pick and a kitchen knife. Then he was dismembered. And then other stuff happened and it's very disgusting and I don't want to talk about it. And then after that, he mailed, the packages with the body parts. There was then this huge chase by the police to track down whoever made these videos and arrest him. Using all the information online, they tracked him down. And thankfully, Berlin police eventually arrested Luca. He was convicted in December of 2014 and sentenced to life with no eligibility for parole for 25 years. And at number 6, we have the disappearance. On November 7th of 1997, 40-year-old William Molt was reported missing after going out one night and never returning home. Sadly, police had no leads as to where William went or what happened to him. The case went cold until 20 years later. That's when Google Earth found William. Basically, a housing development manager was using Google Earth to check out some properties. He then saw something weird in the pond near one of the homes. Turns out this weird thing was William's car. The police ended up dragging the pond and retrieved his car. William's body was found in there as well. The only mystery that remains is how he ended up driving into the pond in the first place. And at number 5, we have the escaped killer. A man named Gioacchino Gamino was a convicted murderer, mafia member, and one of Italy's most wanted gangsters. He had been sentenced to life in prison for a murder he committed in 1998. In 2002, he managed to escape prison and was on the run. He went to go live in Spain under a fake name. Now, let me explain to you how he got caught. So basically, someone tipped off authorities that he was living there and that he owned a restaurant. So authorities looked him up on Google Earth, and although his face was blurred, they knew it was him. They ended up tracking him down, and he was arrested on December 17th of 2021. And at number 4, we have the Buckskin Girl. This is the name given to a body that remained unidentified for 36 years, before finally being identified in April of 2016. She was given the name Buckskin Girl from the unique buckskin poncho that she was found wearing. So on April 24th of 1981, the body of an unidentified young woman was found in a ditch alongside Greenlee Road in Troy, Ohio. She had passed away 1 or 2 days prior. In 2017, this case was taken up by the DNA Doe Project. They uploaded her DNA to GED Match, which allowed them to use new genetic genealogy to figure out her identity and ancestry. She was identified as 21-year-old Marcia Lenore Sosomin King. She was a regular hitchhiker, so people believe that she died doing so. And at number 3, we have the Grateful Dead. In 1995, 21-year-old student Michael Hager picked up a 19-year-old hitchhiker traveling home from a Grateful Dead concert. The two were making their way back when they crashed into a tree and both died. Since he picked up the hitchhiker, no one knew who he was. He was given the name the Grateful Doe because he was coming back from the Grateful Dead concert. For years, no one could identify him. That was until Australian Reddit user Layla Betts started posting about this dude online. This then led to the construction of a subreddit called r Grateful Doe. Another user saw the post and claimed that the reconstruction photos the police did looked like his former roommate, James Callahan. When Callahan's photos began to circulate online, his mother came forward and revealed that her son had in fact gone missing 20 years earlier. Police were then able to confirm that the Grateful Doe was in fact James Callahan. And at number 2, we have the hit and run. In August of 2018, police were investigating a hit and run accident. It left a biker dead at the scene. Now, the only clue that they could go by was a part of the car's headlight. Washington State Police uploaded a picture of the car part to Twitter and asked for help identifying it. The image got spread around and ended up to a subreddit called What Is This Thing? And someone was able to accurately identify what car this headlight belonged to. This user was a state vehicle inspector for a long time. He posted saying it was from a 1988 Chevy Silverado headlamp bezel. This narrowed down the police search and they ended up arresting the criminal responsible for the hit and run. Literally solving the case just by a picture of a headlight. Crazy. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the mysterious bucket. In 2001, Ronald Telfer, a truck driver, noticed an abandoned plastic bucket at a truck stop in Missouri. Months later, when he returned, the bucket was still there. This time, he decided to investigate. He initially thought literally like, oh hey, a free bucket, I can use it to feed the pigs. Not even lying. When he dumped out the contents of the bucket, he thought that it was animal parts and concrete. Turns out, it was a human head. Now, all of this evidence, including images of the man's skull, were uploaded to a website for internet sleuths. A woman named Ellen Leach saw this skull and decided to cross-reference it with a missing persons site. She compared the skull shape to the facial shapes of missing people on this website. That's when she noticed that the skull's features matched that of a man named Gregory May. Her findings were given to the police, and as a result, they were able to solve his murder. Turns out he was murdered by his friend, Doug DeBruin, and it was all over some valuable Civil War memorabilia. Isn't that crazy that she's like, oh, this skull matches this guy, boom, that's who it is. Crazy people out there, crazy. All right, folks, that's all for today's video. I actually really like this one, so if you want to see a part 2, then let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, smash that like button, obviously, subscribe to my channel. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll show you what I show you. Bye. Today, let's take a look at some real crimes. Today, let's take a look at some real crimes caught. Low battery. Fuck you. This is the name given to a body that remained unidentified. Oh my god, they're outside doing the window washing. Okay, maybe we should just wait, but that's like scary. Like, can you be quiet, sir? Do you know who I am? Okay. This is the name given to a body. As soon as I talk, you gonna do it, sir? It left a bicyclist. I hate that word. Bicyclist. A biker.